Hi everybody. I know it's been a while since I made a video, but a lot's happened. So back in May, I think 15th or 16th, I ended up in the hospital with sepsis and staph aureus infection in my lungs. I was in the hospital for a week. It wasn't horrible, but I guess we caught it just as it was becoming septic, so, didn't have any really horrible, I was just sick. So I didn't even know I was septic. I didn't really, the highest fever I had was like 101, almost 102. But apparently I had a blood infection. So I was on antibiotics for a month. I was really tired, really weak. Then I started recovering. I'm still having a little bit of lung stuff. I guess my doctor said that once you've had pneumonia, and I had it in one lung to begin with, and then it cleared up, and then pneumonia went to the other lung, and it's fine. I think it's clearing up. I just lost my train of thought. So once the pneumonia heals, it does leave some scar tissue. So my already kind of compromised lung capacity, I guess, is a little more compromised now. But when I take my, when I use my little pulse oximeter, I still get, a high 90s. I've actually seen 99% a couple of times in the last couple of days. So whatever lung I have a good right lung still left, it's doing a good job of oxygenating everything. When I exercise, I still get kind of weak. My legs get weak. I get more short of breath, but no dizziness or anything like that. So that could be a combination of a weakened heart function, which I already have, and then the lung issues. It's going on since my left lung is pretty much, there's probably maybe 25% of it left. I'm not sure how much of it's not been squashed by the cancer and the pleural effusion that's been stuck in there. We can't get it out. We'd have to do major surgery to get the fluid out from around the lung because it's kind of jello. It's not liquid. So when they put the tube into your chest, it has these little holes in it. So, and then the container that they have, the tube that goes into it, it has a vacuum. So it kind of sucks whatever's in there. But if you're trying to suck, think about a milkshake and you get chunks of strawberries in there. The strawberries clog the hole and then nothing else can come out. So that's essentially is what's happening with my pleural effusion. That is chunky and it clogs the drainage holes, so they can't really drain it. The last couple times they drained it, we should have been able to get 500 to 600 milliliters when they got about 100 milliliters. So not even half of what was in there because it clogged up too fast. So that lung is kind of toast. There's hope that maybe the new medicine, the Enhertu, will hopefully calm everything down. I'm also on low-dose steroids to help reduce inflammation because my inflammation got really bad around the same time I got the sepsis and pneumonia. So, but generally speaking, for all things considered, I'm doing pretty good. Like I said, I'm still struggling with weakness in my legs and my arms. But what happened after the sepsis, and this is a common occurrence, is that while you have sepsis, you could end up losing a lot of weight because your body goes to kind of like emergency mode, and it starts eating muscle. And unfortunately, it seems like that might have triggered something called cachexia, which is a muscle wasting disease. So while I was in the hospital for a week, I lost 7 pounds. But over the next few weeks, I regained it to get up to 130. And then it was stable for probably about two weeks at about 130. And all of a sudden, the weight started coming off a pound at a time. And now I'm down to 118. So I went from 130 to 118 in about a month. So that's a pound a day. And so and I'm not sick. I have a little stuff, but that's just from, allergies and what happened in the past with the lungs. So, with all my blood work coming back the way it was, it indicated that it was very likely that I have this muscle wasting condition called cachexia. And unfortunately, it's not curable, but if you manage it well with increased calories and increased protein intake, it can keep it from making you turn into skin and bones, essentially. So how this happens with cancer cachexia, from what I understand, is the tumors themselves, which they're in that left lung sac. I have a couple of lymph nodes, but it's very minor compared to what's going on in the left left sac of my lung. So the cancer cells emit or secrete some kind of a chemical. I don't remember what it's called, but what it does, it alters the metabolism inside the cells. And so when your cells need energy, instead of going after, the blood sugar primarily, and then going after fat next, it's going straight to muscle. So when my body wants, if I don't eat protein and carbs frequently, when I'm hungry, when my body's hungry, when the cancer's hungry, it goes straight for muscle. So I've been losing muscle mass over the last few weeks, last month, I guess, because I was comfortable with a size 8-10. Now I'm like bagging a size 6 pants. So, and my legs, I can't believe how skinny luckily there's still fat on there that, so I don't look like a skin and bones, but the muscles definitely decrease. I can tell, just walking up a simple slope, I get winded really easily because there's hardly any muscle there anymore. I don't know if any muscle can be rebuilt there, but I'm going to try. The problem is with everything that's going on with my health is I'm also I don't have nausea so much to speak. A little bit, touches it here and there, but it's mostly the loss of appetite. So when you're trying to gain weight and you have a loss of appetite, that's a stinker. It makes it extra hard. So when you think about eating, it's like, I'm not really hungry. Kind of makes thinking about eating certain foods, like even though I might like that food in the past, to think about eating it sometimes makes me feel a little bit nauseous. So I don't want to eat. So I have to find something to get me to start eating. Once I start eating, I can keep eating. It's just overcoming that initial slight nausea and loss of appetite that's been pretty persistent for the last few months. Because I have also had some intestinal issues that were contributing to that. That's the challenge. There are medications. I'm waiting for one of them to be sent to me. I think it's Megastrol, something like that. So it's supposed to stimulate appetite. Take it twice a day. Hopefully it helps because I don't really want to lose any more weight. The last time I weighed 118 was like sometime in high school. Seriously, even when I was in my early 20s, I was in the mid 125s. Right around there as weight wise. So, weight loss with cancer can be very detrimental to your health because you get sick, you lose more weight. And every time you lose more weight, your body becomes less tolerant to the medications. So it's important to keep the weight up. When I first started my cancer journey, I was 175. Now I'm 118. It's like, holy crap, that's like 60 pounds almost. So, yeah, that's not good. So my goal, I bought some, with this protein powder, my goal is to gain some, hopefully put some muscle, at least stop the muscle loss, at least, and get my energy up. Because today I feel pretty good compared to some other days. One day I'll feel weak as a newborn kitten. Next day I'll feel like, I can get going and get some stuff done, and take some breaks here and there. But it's just, it's very inconsistent. It's hard to plan around, the energy levels. Like yesterday I went shopping at Walmart and it's like, oh my God, I had to stop and shop, like look at something in order to get my legs from feeling so tired. I'm not even 50 yet, and I don't want to be driving around one of those little carts for disabled people, but that's where I'm headed, and I'm a very independent person, and it's hard to accept that, but I have accepted it, but I still don't like it, but I've accepted that's how it's going to go. If the cachexia isn't controlled well, it could get bad. When it gets to, okay, so they have, different websites say different things about how many stages there are. I'm just going to call it 3. You have the pre-stage, you have the active stage, and then you have the refractory stage, which means it's not responding to anything. When you get to that 3rd stage, on average, they say you have about 3 months because your body is just burning the protein, and it's going to interfere with your heart because your heart is a muscle as well. But cachexia mostly affects the skeletal muscle, but eventually it causes respiratory or heart failure, and that's what these people who die from it, they die from either respiratory failure, the lungs filling up with fluid and whatever have you and not breathing, the diaphragm's not working right, or the heart just is too weak to pump blood and the organs start to fail. So if I don't keep this under control, that's what's going to get me. And I mean, if I'm going to, when everybody's going to die, and if I could choose, I'd rather die of like a heart attack, because I mean, that's quick, right? It's like, boom, you're gone. No suffering. I don't want to suffer. No one wants to suffer, right? So, that would be, and that might be the way I end up going, because I mean, most of my organs have been clear of the cancer, but they've been damaged by the treatments. But the treatments have kept me alive a lot longer. If I didn't do the treatments, I'd already be dead. So I'm not going to complain about the treatments. But it's a fact of the treatments. I mean, I'm 6.5 years out from my stage 4 diagnosis, and I'm actually almost 10 years out from my original diagnosis of stage 2B, which I may have already been stage 4, but I already went over that. I didn't do a PET scan, so I could have already been stage 4, but for 3 years the cancer grew, and then when I finally broke the ribs, boom, there was the cancer everywhere. But I'm still here 10 years later from my first original diagnosis, and diagnosis stage 4 back in 2013. I'm 6.5 years out from that. So I have to say I'm doing pretty darn good. My goal is to make it to 50, and that's only a year away. So fingers crossed, right? Because I mean that gets me close to the time my mom passed away. My mom passed away, I think when she was 54. So at least I'll be close, And also, the longer we hold on, the more chance of more treatments coming on. But the one thing with stage 4 cancer is each time you change treatments, the treatments tend not to last as long. It's because our cancer gets more and more resilient, and our body gets weaker and weaker from all the toxins and stuff. It's just how it goes. There's nothing we can really do about that yet. Now, someday they might find a way to conquer that, but we're not there yet. Excuse me. So, so overall, I'm doing okay. I'm still able to take care of myself. I'm very grateful for that. But I definitely do feel frustration with my loss of productivity. I live in a ranch, and I take care of horses. To clean a stall now would be exhausting. I used to clean 3 or 4 stalls a day, plus take care of everything else. So I definitely lost a lot of endurance and a lot of strength through the cachexia and the illness and the medications and everything. But I will be uploading the video from my last PET scan done a couple weeks ago. I thought I would have this DVD by now, but I guess I put the email in to request it and didn't send, so I had to put another request in. Stuff happens. So I'll be making that video, and we'll see. I'll compare it with the last couple ones, and hopefully kind of get an idea. So the last PET scan we did, we called it a baseline PET scan, so that we can see how the Enhertu is, if it's working or not, or if it's at least keeping things stable. Stable means things are not really growing or not really shrinking, or maybe a combination of a little bit of growth, a little bit of shrink, so that, the overall burden, the overall number and size of the tumors is about the same. I would take stable. I would really like to see what's in the left side shrink, so I can hopefully breathe a little better. But my doctor's given me some inhalers and stuff, and so I'll try those. But I hate drugs. I have enough drugs, I do have a little pain in the left side, and that could be from the cancer or the pleural effusion. I don't know. It's in the lower part, and that's where I have a lot of the pleural effusion. The part of the lung I have left is more in the upper part. So I imagine that's just a lot of pressure down there. But I won't know until I see the PET scan. But anyway, this is a long enough video, but it was a lot to update you on. So again, doing okay, hanging in there. Have some bad days, but I'm thankful I'm still productive. I'm still able to take care of the horses and, take care of myself. Sometimes it's hard, but I managed to get it done. So anyway, I will update you guys pretty soon with the DVD from the PET scan, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Remember, find your joy, share your joy, and make memories worth remembering. Bye-bye.